Holy crap, what a documentary we have just seen on Viceland tonight. Dark Side of the Ring, New Jack this week. A lot of vicious stuff from ECW that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the crazy that he went through, going to jail. This New Jack episode on Dark Side of the Ring was absolutely awesome. And I gotta give it to them at Dark Side of the Ring. They're putting up two great documents on Dark Side of the Ring so far in season two with Chris Benoit and New Jack. And by the way, before I start talking, yes, I am usually recording on my iPad. My iPad is dead, so I have to record on my iPhone, and that's why I'm holding up my iPhone like this because I don't want to put it down. I feel like it'd be too small if I put it down. Not really. That's fine. Alright, so we're going to record on the iPhone right here. We're going to talk about this documentary for a little bit. Maybe like under 10 minutes. Why not? Have a little fun right here. Dark Side of the Ring killing it again tonight with the New Jack episode. And he was, yes, a vicious hardcore wrestler. One of the most vicious hardcore wrestlers I think you will ever see after this show tonight. I was sitting down on my couch watching this show, and my brother after me at 10:59 p.m. was like, "Dude, New Jack is the most controversial wrestler of all time after the stuff that he did to his opponents." I said he was very controversial, but I don't think most controversial of all time. Was the stuff that he did wrong to the guys like Eric Koulas and Vic Grimes and Hunter Reed, I think was the last dude's name? Absolutely not. He tried to literally commit murder on him and literally kill them by stabbing them. We're going to talk about each one right now. I'm going to talk about these first, and then I'm going to talk about the tag team he was in with the Gangsters, beating up the Rocky Roll Express, and all of that stuff, and then his family, which is the sad part. And then, if I can remember anything else, we're going to talk about Jim Cornette, D'Lo Brown, and Sandman were all featured on the show tonight. So that was like who was featured. He was really hated by everybody. Really hated by everybody. No one liked him. He was totally unsafe. He wanted to go to WWE, but WWE would not let him go there because he was so unsafe of a wrestler that they thought he could have legitimately killed somebody. And, they're right. That dude is crazy, man. Oh my goodness. I looked up a match during Dark Side of the Ring commercials. I think I'm going to watch it tomorrow. It's Sabu versus Sandman versus New Jack in a body bag match. I think I'm going to watch it tomorrow during my lunch break. We'll see how that goes. It's like a 20-minute match. Maybe I'll talk about it here. Probably not though. Maybe I'll tweet it out probably. But let's talk about the tag team, the Gangsters. So he was in the tag team called the Gangsters in Stokely Mountain in his early career. It was this guy named Mustafa. They were feuding with the Rock and Roll Express. Again, brutal guys like baseball bats and chairs and tables that would easily break. They would really make the Rock and Roll Express busted open. They took out literally everybody that they faced, and they were totally not they were really dangerous to face in the ring. Um, Now the more controversial part, the guys that he had matches with, and let's start off with the Eric Koulas one. Um, Eric Koulas, he lied about his age. He thought he was 21 years old. He was saying he was 21 years old. But in all reality, he was really 17. So he was 17 years old this whole time. He lied about the age. I guess he didn't know. And then he found out he was 17 years old. Had 3 matches before this match with New Jack. And they had nobody for New Jack to face that night at this wrestling show. And he volunteered. So they went with him. And then he went up to New Jack and he said, "Hey man, I would like to get a lot of offense in. I would like to get some offense in on you. And can you blade for me?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And that's what really pissed New Jack off. That's what really pissed him off, asking him to get a few offensive moves in on him. So he does, and he's beating the crap out of this Kulas guy. He's chairs, barbed wire, you name it. He is destroying this guy. He then takes a knife and he cuts his head open. His dad was there. He's like, "Stop. He's only 17 years old. Where's the ref?" And and then he body slammed him right on top of his head to make things much worse. Really, really uncomfortable scene. And he ended up having to receive 50 stitches in his head, and he died when he was 23 years old, unfortunately. Vic Grimes, I think, was the more controversial one, the more, I guess, popular one. So Vic Grimes had a match with New Jack on pay-per-view, some hardcore match or whatever. They were on top of a 30-foot balcony. That's another thing about New Jack. He jumped off these big as hell balconies, 10 foot, 15 foot, 20 foot, you name it. He jumped off these big ass balconies, and him and Vic Grimes were on a 30-foot balcony with 2 tables underneath. And the dude, Grimes, did not want to do it. And New Jack was like, "Come on, dude. We're on pay-per-view. We're already up here. We're going to do this." He said, "No, I'm not going down there." He said, "We're going to jump on 3. 1, 2, 3." And then Grimes lands on top of New Jack's head, and New Jack cracked his skull and then could not see out of his right eye. He could not see half out of his right eye for the rest of his life. Scary, scary stuff. And then they had a rematch again, and Grimes never reached out to New Jack to make sure he was okay. Not one hello. And then New Jack was like, "I'm going out for revenge. I want my revenge on this dude." And they were on this big, gigantic stage. And I've seen this clip on Twitter a few times before. I've seen this Dark Side of the Ring tonight. And he threw him off the stage. And this dude is so lucky that he did not die after this. Because, oh my goodness, he threw him off the stage like he was just a piece of trash. And he went through 2 tables. He didn't even go through the whole set. He went through 2 tables. And he only dislocated his ankle. He only dislocated his ankle at the worst. And New Jack was like, "I didn't throw him hard enough for him to land on the outside of the ring." So he was literally trying to kill this man in the middle of a match. And then the last one we're going to talk about was, Hunter Reed, I think his name was. They're in a match, 2003. They're at a gym in front of 30 people. This guy's got a headlock in on, or a rest hold in on New Jack. New Jack grabs a knife out of his pocket and starts stabbing him with it like it's nothing. It's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous, man. Stabbed him 9 times, he said. The report said 16. New Jack was arrested in Florida for stabbing this man. And then he got himself out of jail. And his mother was like, how could you stab this dude in the ring? He's like, we planned this all along. I don't really think they planned it all along. Because would you plan to stab a guy in the middle of the match? Heck no, you wouldn't. That's another thing too. His parents did not get along with each other. His dad died when he was 5, and he never got along with his mother, and he did not care what his mother said, and all that stuff. That's a short review. I mean, D'Lo Brown. This guy was shocked. Jim Cornette watching New Jack stab um, Hunter Reed. He was laughing and shocked at the same time. All guys that were in the documentary tonight. New Jack was talking. The Little Terrible was talking. I think like a Little Horrible or something like that. He was really good. Sandman was good. I thought D'Lo Brown was the best though. D'Lo Brown was awesome in this Dark Side of the Ring episode. Jim Cornette. I don't like Jim Cornette, but he did a really good job here as well. Overall, this was an awesome Dark Side of the Ring episode, just like Chris Benoit was last week. And Dark Side of the Ring is bringing us great documentary, bleh, tongue twister, documentaries that us fans are loving and are going to see every week. I'm getting out of here. This is your short Dark Side. That's your Dark Side of the Ring recap for New Jack. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember, subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. I'll be here tomorrow night with your AEW and NXT review. 2 reviews in 1 video. Comment down below if you watched Dark Side of the Ring, what you thought of this episode. This was one chaotic episode of Dark Side of the Ring tonight. Unbelievable stuff. My brother loved it. He was scared at times, but he loved it at the end. Like this video with a super kick. Follow me on Twitter at Joseph Conlon. Follow Eddie on Twitter at Eddie Mullins. And I'll see you guys right back here on the channel tomorrow night for your AEW and NXT review. Have a good night, guys.